I'm looking to add to my portfolio of alerts. In particular, I'm looking for a pre-earnings bullish play. So I'll look at the NASDAQ 100 under the Pro Scan. I'll look at pre-earnings trades, in particular 7 days before earnings with a technical safety valve. I'll tap on that. I'll sort it by earnings date, come back down to page 2, and here's Adobe. I'll take a look at that backtest. Looks like over the last 3 years, we've got 5 wins, 4 losses. Right now, this is backtesting opening the trade 7 days before earnings and closing 1 day before earnings. But Adobe actually reports after the market closes. So we can go as far as 0 days before earnings and still be okay. So I'll do that. We can see the results are getting better. When I go really short term, 6 months, I see 1 win and 1 loss. And when I tap on the backtest tile, I see that the loss came in December. So there's something about my technical safety valve that isn't careful enough. I should have avoided this trade. This is when the market was collapsing, and we can actually see from December 6th to December 7th, Adobe went down $12. That's not a period of time I want to be getting long. So I'm going to go into my technical open. This is the first thing we have, which is stock price above the 50-day moving average. But I also want to make sure that the 21-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average. So if the stock price is above the 50-day moving average and the 21-day is above the 200-day, I feel like we're not in a bear market. So let's see what the results are now. All of a sudden it skips that losing trade 6 months ago, only opened the trade in September, so it worked perfectly. And now if we go back to the last 5 years, we're getting even better results. What's really of interest to me is the last 3 years. I like it. 6 wins, 2 losses, 267% return. Average trade returns 28.6% in 7 days. I'm in. The next thing I want to do is check the pivot points. So I'll go to CMLviz.com. CMLviz.com is like Yahoo Finance, but better. I'll look at the pivot points. In here I can see the stock right now is above the 50-day moving average pretty considerably, and the 21-day is above the 200-day. So as of right now, this would trigger. Of course, we have to be 7 days before earnings for that to happen. The last thing I do is I like to look at the stock chart. So I'll click on the stock chart tab. I start with a 1-year chart, and since I like 1-day candles on my chart, I'm going to drag it down here to make the chart longer. For chart settings, I'm going to go to adjustments and just go ahead and add an earnings indicator. Going to be a little green E icon. And of course, I'm going to add the 50-day moving average. So I'll go to study. I'll go to moving average. I'll type in 50. That line will come in and I'll drag it back a little more. And here we can see that pre-earnings momentum. So here's earnings. Here's the rise into it. Here's earnings. Here's the rise into it. Here's earnings. Here's the rise into it. Here's earnings. Notice this did not trigger in December because the 7 days before earnings was below the 50-day moving average. So this never happened. You can sort of put an X through this. This is the type of momentum we're looking for. All looks good. I'll grab this link, put it on my clipboard. I'll set an alert. It's going to be for Adobe. Days before earnings with technicals, 7 days before earnings. The technicals are going to be the stock price is above the 50-day moving average. And the 21-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average. I'm going to put my notes in there. So I have a link to the back test. And before that, I'll just remind myself what I'm doing, which is getting long a call. I'll put my email address in there. I'll add my phone number because I want a text alert. I hit add alert. Magically, there it is. And that's it. Thanks for watching.